and welcome to Getting to Good Enough, a podcast to help you let go of perfectionism so you can do more of what you love. I'm Shannon Wilkinson, a life coach in Portland, Oregon. I'm a recovering perfectionist who's getting better at good enough.
And I'm Janine Adams, a certified professional organizer in St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm lucky enough to be naturally good at good enough.
And today, we're talking about how we're trying to figure this whole thing out. Hey, Janine.
Hey, Shannon, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well, too.
Good.
Yeah.
But even just, it's so funny because even just asking that question, it's like, I don't know how to respond. In this moment, I'm okay. But
ask me in a little while.
Yeah. Or, things could go bad, or there are bad things happening, or, this is such a strange place to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And, when just listening to you say that makes me think that because of what's going on with the COVID-19 crisis, and everything, it's like, I feel like I shouldn't be doing well. I shouldn't be happy or experiencing joy.
Right.
But yet, I'm safe and I've got plenty to eat and I feel well. And it's
how about toilet
okay
paper? Do you have toilet paper?
Oh, yeah. Not because of any hoarding, but we already had some. We have the luxury bidet toilet seat, which cuts down on the need for the toilet paper.
Yes, it's true.
My friend was going to Whole Foods and she said, "Do you want anything?" I said, "How about some toilet paper?" So she brought me a package that had a lot of rolls in it. So it was only one package, but it had a lot of rolls in it. So yeah, but so it doesn't do me any good or you any good to be feeling really bad. Yet feeling bad doesn't help. Worrying doesn't help.
Right.
It's just such a strange combination of feelings, isn't it?
It really is. It really is. And, as you're saying that, I am remembering years ago when I was doing the monthly Explore and Play calls, that I did one called something like "Feeling Good, It's Not Bad."
Oh, I think I remember that catchy title.
But it speaks to what you're saying. Not that I remember all the details about it because it was a while ago, but it's like it feels weird to feel good when bad things are happening around you, and yet feeling bad is not useful.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's not like this is a crisis that, besides staying home, that there's anything we can do as non-medical people. Like we're staying home. It's not. We could be donating money, which I imagine we're both doing.
Yes.
Yes, but beyond that, it's not like we're having a great time at the expense of other things we should be doing, except also we're not having a great time, I don't think.
I don't know. It's party all the time here.
Right. But, I'm really enjoying walking my dog because the weather's getting nice, and the quietness of the neighborhood is nice. And, it's a tricky thing, and it's hard to balance keeping aware of what's going on in the news and what's going on with the crisis with, the need for information balanced against a need not to totally stress out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I think I talked about this last week that I have limited myself. It does feel really important to me to know what's going on, and it doesn't stress me out so much, but I can sort of fall down the rabbit hole of reading articles and stuff and get lost in it for way too long, which is, it doesn't matter what I'm looking at, that never feels good to me. So that's what I'm managing more than feeling stressed about what I'm reading. So for me, it's sort of recognizing that, and then limiting how much time I'm spending on it has been really useful.
That's good. And you're limiting it through sheer willpower?
I am limiting it with because I mostly look at things on my phone. I could be sitting in front of my computer and I'll look at things on my phone, which you have witnessed and are like appalled by.
Well, or appalled isn't quite the right word, but amazed might be the right word.
Yeah. Shocked and amazed. But so I use the screen time thing that Apple has now in iOS. Mm-hmm. And I have it set to, I don't remember, I think 30 minutes. So then when my 30 minutes is up for the day, you have to click through like 2 things to get to it, and then every 15 minutes it shuts off and says your time is up. Mm-hmm. And so it just helps me stay mindful and make a choice, when that pops up, to be like, oh yeah, I can go back to my life, instead of like, I've read enough for now. Like I don't need to look through the news again at this point.
Well, that's good. That's a great use of technology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do know I talked to someone who completely took all, or blocked all news stuff on her iPad, which is her primary way of accessing the internet. And she also, has gone off social media for a while, because it was too stressful. So I think that's a really important thing to notice about yourself, is something like, does social media feel like valuable connection, or does it feel stressful and anger inducing?
Right. And if it's a combination of both, maybe there are things to be done to, like silencing people or whatever it is on Facebook.
Yeah. Unfollowing or muting, I think is
muting,
what it is.
That was it, yeah. So that you're keeping a Facebook feed, if it's Facebook that you're using, that is helping you with those social connections without stressing you out. That's worth a little looking at, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's definitely a good time to curate your feed.
Yes, exactly. Right. I tried to use your example of not charging my phone near the bed. Mm-hmm. And the first night I did it, I woke up in the middle of the night. I don't know, Bix woke me up or something, but then I couldn't get back to sleep, which never happens. And then I started thinking about how I was running out of postcards to send to voters, so I had to get my phone to order some more.
Oh gosh!
And that was the end of that. And and then the postcards arrived today, and I wasn't thinking straight. I got the wrong postcards, so it was all just. I mean, they'll be fine. I can use them, but they're not what I would want. So. But then, and I thought, oh no, am I going to become an insomniac over all of this? But I have not. I think it was because I had a big bowl of pudding before bed.
Oh.
So it was chocolate. It was delicious, but I think it was the caffeine.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I'm trying to do is get back to doing yoga with Adriene every day, or at least a little bit. And that's been nice. I think I've missed a day or two, but now that I have time, which was always my excuse in recent months for not doing it, was I couldn't find the time of day to fit it in with my client appointments, and now I don't have any client appointments. So it's really nice to have her calming me down and so forth.
Yeah, I've done a number of the I can't even think of what they're called. Episodes? What are
sessions?
Sessions, I guess. Yeah, that she that are in the curated playlist for Yoga for Uncertainty or whatever she put together for when all of this started happening.
Right.
And they're really good.
Yeah. We'll put a link to that in the show notes. They really are. It really is a great way to take care of yourself, in my opinion. Yeah. And that also just reminded me of the BJ Fogg little tiny habits.
Tiny habits.
That I emailed you about or texted you about earlier today, which we can also put a link to the show notes. But BJ Fogg and his people are having these short Zoom calls about various aspects of creating habits to help you deal with these times of the coronavirus. It's amazing.
And for those who are not familiar with BJ Fogg's tiny habits idea, it's wonderful. And I can't remember if you turned me onto him or I turned you onto him, but we've been following him for quite some time, like maybe 10 years.
Oh, I think, 10 years. Yep.
Which is, I think, when he started this. He is a professor at Stanford, and I can't remember what they call it. Oh, I have the book right here. Because he has a new book out. But he founded the Behavior Design Lab at Stanford. And it's a really wonderful philosophy for making change.
Absolutely. It's very effective and easy, right? Which is the best kind of change to make, right?
Yeah.
So I signed up for 2 of the workshops this week. One on, I don't remember what they were on. Now I can't remember. But in any case, it's a huge service they're offering. They're free, and I suspect they'll be very helpful.
Yes. I saw the when you sent that to me, there was one for partners of healthcare workers. And I thought that was really interesting, and I definitely wanted to tune into that one.
Oh, yeah. Did you sign up for it?
I haven't signed up yet, but I will. And they're also, if you can attend live, they are recording them, and you can access the recordings later.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah.
I just looked. I signed up for reducing screen time, 3 tiny habits for reducing screen time, and habits to make your supplies last longer for fewer trips to the store.
Oh, huh.
That was.
I'm very curious what habits they will be creating for those.
I know, me too.
Well, and what's interesting, it's good you bring that up because we have been talking about this book, and I still want to talk about it more in depth, but it's wonderful that they are providing this help right now and guidance.
Absolutely. It really is. It seems like a great service, great public service that they're providing. They're really harnessing their knowledge in a way that can really help people at this particular time.
Yeah.
And I bought the book, his book, but I haven't yet read it. But one of these days, Shannon, we'll both have read it and we'll talk about it. That would be great. Yes.
I would love to talk about it because it's really interesting. And I listened to a number of interviews with him. And one of my favorite interviews with him was with Dax Shepard on Armchair Expert.
Oh, neat. Gosh, I don't think I heard that one. Ooh.
Oh, it's really good.
Excellent. Oh, cue that up.
Yeah. It's very useful. And I think they were, Dax and Monica were really surprised at how much information he shared. You know, it wasn't just, it was a very useful episode, not just a, interesting learning about someone episode. You know what I mean?
Right. Mm-hmm. And he didn't just dangle information to make you read his book. He actually shared information. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Oh, that's great. Oh, good. I will listen to that. I enjoy that podcast a lot, but I just haven't listened recently.
Yeah. Still one of my go-tos.
Yeah. I guess, I just go in fits and spurts. Is that,
Yeah.
that's not the expression. Fits and starts.
I don't know.
As soon as I came out, it felt wrong.
That's so good. But just talking about the like what BJ Fogg is offering and all of a sudden there's this flood of resources available that is just wonderful. Like so many people are doing really great things. And like Patrick Stewart is reading on Facebook Live. He's doing a Facebook Live every day where he reads a Shakespeare sonnet.
Yeah, I heard that. That's amazing. Or
Yeah,
I watched Oklahoma, Hugh Jackman. In, the stage production of Oklahoma yesterday that was made available free of charge. Yeah.
Right. So there's so many wonderful things in the Great Courses. Do you know that? They are offering a free month to everybody. Audible has made a bunch of books free. I think you told me about that. Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot of really wonderful resources out there. And for people with a tendency toward perfectionism, I could see where it would be easy to get stymied about what to do and not do anything.
Yeah. Which one of these opportunities is the best one for me to take advantage of?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm dealing with my usual struggle of what to watch on TV now that I've always watched a lot of TV, but I'm actually not watching. I'm ending my workday earlier than I usually would, so I am getting some more TV time in. So I made a new Trello board about it, so that I can just consult my Trello board instead of thumbing through the various streaming services to figure out what I want to watch. Yeah. And then I made it public, which I can provide a link if anyone's interested in my Trello board on TV things to watch. I wish I could remember why I made it public. I had a reason.
Was there someone you wanted to share it with and then you just decided to share it with everybody?
No, because I think maybe I was blogging about it. And so I thought, oh, heck, I'll just make it public. That was probably what it was.
Oh, that's nice.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, yes, such a huge public service to let people know what TV I'm interested in. But anyway.
You've turned me on to some of my favorite shows. So.
Oh, well, thank you. And vice versa. So I can stick a link to that in the show notes as well. But I've been watching some quality television as a result.
That's a good thing to pay attention to, like what you're watching, and is it helping you feel good, or is it adding to your stress?
That's a good point. Can you believe that like Outbreak and Contagion are the movies that everybody's watching?
I know.
I don't understand.
I was wrestling with whether or not I should reread Year of Wonders.
Oh, I'm trying to
A Book of the Plague.
Oh, right. And what did you decide?
Well, I decided that I thought maybe I wanted to do that, and I went to the library because as you know, I read like 99% of my fiction. I read ebooks checked out from the library, and I wasn't the only one that thought of it because it's an 11-week wait.
Oh wow! Isn't that something?
Yeah. Huh. But for people who aren't familiar, it's one of my favorite books. I really enjoyed it. But it would be interesting to read right now because it takes place in the 17th century, and it's based on a true story about this small village in England that the plague got brought to through a bolt of fabric, and they chose to quarantine themselves so that the plague wouldn't spread, because really the plague was primarily in London. It didn't go out beyond the city much, out into these little villages. And so this village chose to, and there was a big debate. It's actually all very similar to what's happening right now,
Wow.
except for a 17th century version of it.
Yeah.
And, but they ended up choosing to quarantine themselves to prevent the spread of it.
Wow. Did you go ahead and reserve it? Or
I did.
Put a hold on it?
I did put a hold on it, and I figure, I can make the decision of whether or not I want to read it when it shows up in 3 months.
Right. I might have to put myself in line for it.
That
have you different.
Have you read it before?
I don't think so.
It's Geraldine Brooks.
I believe that I have checked it out from the library and then didn't manage to read it before it got taken off my Kindle.
Yeah.
But so I'm definitely familiar with it, but I think I might give it a try. But to me, that's different from 2 hours of Dustin Hoffman in a hazmat suit.
Right. Oh, yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. We watched Groundhog Day last night.
Oh, geez.
Just as something to laugh at, although it was still funny, but it's also kind of squirm-inducing with the Me Too. In the era of Me Too, there was just a whole lot, of taking advantage happening in that movie.
Right. Yeah.
But Bill Murray's
it's interesting.
Yeah.
But that, it's so interesting that, like what we started talking about was that, like, everything feels both really important and also completely irrelevant at the same time.
Yeah. It's a remarkable thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, I think that when we first talked about what we were going to talk about today and not really knowing, one of the things that went through my mind was the emails that I've been getting from, it seems like every company who's ever gotten my email address ever, and which ones I'm neutral about, which ones I'm happy to receive, and which ones just feel gross to me. And, the ones that feel the best are the ones where people are just really honest. Like, we've never done this before, and we know that people are struggling, and this is how we're trying to help. And that honesty I really appreciate. The worst one I received was from a company that does like travel wear, and they were talking about, like, what are you doing on your hashtag staycation?
Yikes.
Yeah, it just
feels so tone deaf.
Yeah.
But you'd have to sort of think anybody in the travel industry right now is, I guess, probably scrambling.
Yeah.
To make a buck.
Well, if there's anyone in the travel industry that's listening right now, calling quarantine staycation is probably not the way to go.
No. Yeah. That's just, yeah. I on my Facebook feed was a friend from high school who's I think he's a high school teacher or junior high, and he went on a little rant about stop telling me I'm on vacation. I'm not on vacation. I'm trying to come up with I'm teaching children.
Right.
And I mean, this rant was long. I thought to myself, who are these people telling teachers you're so lucky you're on vacation? What? I don't get it.
Right. Well, and it doesn't matter what your work level is. This is everybody's lives have been turned upside down. Like, I don't understand who's like celebrating.
Right.
Like, yay, time off. And if you are, you're probably not doing shelter in place right.
Yeah, it's so interesting, right? Because it goes back to, we don't have to be miserable. It's not, we're not going to sit here and be miserable. We shouldn't, I don't think so,
No.
and be miserable. But, right, this is obviously not a cause for celebration. I mean, I feel guilty even looking for silver linings, of which I'm sure there are some, but people are suffering.
Yeah, people are suffering. And, it is nice to be aware of the things, I don't know, they're just like moments. Like, to me, it sounds like the birds are louder. And, it's so quiet when I go for a walk. And, just sort of noticing those small things in the moment, I think are really important, and appreciating them, but not feeling, it's hard to come up with the right language for it, but not feeling like I have gratitude that I'm getting to experience that, but I'm not happy that this happened so that I could experience it.
Yeah. You'll be glad when you no longer have the opportunity to experience it because things have gone back to normal.
Yeah.
If things ever go back to normal.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's part of the issue is not knowing how long this will last and what things will be like afterwards.
That's a huge part of it, I think. Of the stress around it, without a doubt. My dad asked me the other day, when do you think this will be over? Like, well, Dad, nobody knows. Yeah. Did you see John Krasinski's Some Good News video?
No.
I'll put a link to it in the show notes. I think it's going to be a series. It's him, like he's doing a newscast, and he has the screen over his shoulder that shows things. Apparently he went on Twitter and asked people for good news, and so he's just sharing all these things, all these good news things. I actually teared up. I never cry, and there were some moving things in there. And then this is in the first episode, which I think was today or yesterday. He He announced it was the 15th anniversary of The Office starting, and so he had Steve Carell on
oh my
video
gosh
feed. Yeah, so it was very nice, and it was the good news was stuff that people were doing for other people in this time. So it's a nice thing to
like as soon as I hear about anything like that, like I'm just thinking about right now, I'm like getting a little teary-eyed. That like sends me over the top.
Yeah. I'll send you a link to it.
But I cry at the drop of a hat. So
right. Yeah, so if I shed a tear that it was really something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing, I do enjoy that people are just rolling with it right now. I watched a series of videos this morning of newscasters, anchors, sports, weather people who were having to do live shots from home. And during those live shots, they had cats walk through or their dog. Like there were two guys who had these huge dogs that like climbed up on their laps. Like they couldn't get rid of them. And it's just really, it's really sweet to like remember these people are, have these whole other lives going on. Like, I don't know. I don't really think about it that much.
Right. Yeah. It is a peek into those little lives. Or Jimmy Fallon's doing his show remotely and having guests from there. Yeah. I was just scouring the background of Lin-Manuel Miranda's apartment when he was doing it.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't even listening to him. I was like, wait, what is that? That looks like a Grammy. And
yeah, it was pretty funny. But so I guess my takeaway on this is to really pay attention to what feels supportive and what helps you feel good, and do that. That there's no right way to do this.
Right. And don't feel guilty about doing the things that are supportive of you. It's because I'm sure you're supporting other people as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's good advice.
Yeah. So we would love to hear from you. How are you figuring this out? you can leave us a voicemail at 413-424-GTGE. That's 4843. You can find us on social media on Facebook and Instagram. We're at Getting to Good Enough. And on Twitter, we're at GTG Enough. And then, of course, we have the website with our show notes for every episode at gettingtogoodenough.com. But for now, this is Shannon Wilkinson in Portland, Oregon.
And Janine Adams in St. Louis, Missouri.
And we hope that good enough is getting easier for you. That does feel good enough.
Yeah.